God bless you. Here we have Terry and Lori. We just walked up on them by the leading of God, and we found out that they are about to be married. They're engaged, and we just wanted to ask them a few questions concerning their idea of marriage. Their idea of marriage. Now, we talked with them briefly. They're a wonderful couple, and again, we're getting ready to release our book called "Obtaining a Marriage with No Regrets," and we want to make sure that they have a little bit of information too, to make sure they don't regret making that decision. So we're going to say to Terry and Lori, we'll say welcome and thank you for taking the time with us. So tell us, who do you think? Give us your idea, both of you, some of the important attributes and things that make a marriage work, make it successful.
Well, I believe there are three important entities to any marriage. Number one, looking at the parties, I believe there's me, there's Lori, and then there's us as a team. And one thing that we try to do is we try to put the team first. So in situations where there's something I may want to do, but it's not in Lori's best interest, or vice versa, we'll sit down as a team and discuss the merits of doing what's important for us as a team, as I stated. And that seems to work. That seems to really keep us on the same path.
Okay. Now, Lori, let's ask Lori. Lori, what do you think? Tell us what your views are on trust. How important is that in a relationship?
Well, I would have to say without trust, there is no relationship. It's very difficult to relate to a person and to understand what it is that they're communicating to you if whatever your thoughts and your perceptions and everything are clouded by mistrust. So I don't think if there's trust in a relationship and you trust your partner, you can have a certain level of the fact that when they communicate something to you, it's on an honest level. There's no hidden agendas when they communicate to you, so you can clearly listen to what it is that they're saying and develop an understanding of what it is that they're saying and what that means to you. So I don't believe that there is a marriage or a relationship, for that matter, even friendships, even working relationships with people, very little gets done without trust being involved.
Exactly. So relationship has rules, they have boundaries, and God set these rules within relationship. He's a creative relationship. Very, very, very awesome. One of the things we teach is that you should become a husband or you should become a wife prior to getting to the altar. I teach about how a husband is a position of the heart, a position of the mind, and a position of the spirit. Same thing with a wife. A wife or a husband think differently than just a man. And we teach about how it's easier to be a husband or it's easier to be a wife and to act like one. So it's a transition that we talk about.
I believe that a strong relationship doesn't just happen by accident. It's a process. It's a process of becoming friends, of building that trust, of going through trials and tribulations. Lori and I, we've been together a number of years, and we love, we care for each other, we trust each other, but it did not happen like that on day one. So what I would advise new couples is not to expect miracles on the first day or even the first year. I mean, you will go through some bumps, some valleys, but if you're in it for the long haul, your intentions are honest and pure, then it'll work. It has a very good chance of working.
All right, Lori?
I would have to agree with that. I would also like to add that in many instances, I think particularly women, when they go into relationships, I think women in general decide about whether a relationship is working for them a lot earlier than men do, and for that reason I think women are engaged a lot sooner than men, and sometimes what happens is women tend to want to try to rush things along and rush the man into the place that they are at in their heart. And what I have to say about that is Terry and I have experienced that, and quite frankly, it doesn't work. You have to allow the man to get to where he needs to be on his own. Obviously, you can give him a little bit of guiding, gentle guiding and prodding. But when you force an issue, it's impossible to force a man to be in a place that he doesn't want to be. When he's not ready to be in love, when he's not ready to be in a committed relationship, he simply won't. You can be committed all you want to, but if he's not there, then truly you really don't have a relationship, not in that sense that women like to be, quote, in love. So what I would say is, take your time and get to know your mate, your man. Let him be who he is. Sometimes that is not necessarily what the ideal person is that we would like, but it's a process. Again, you work together, you grow together as a couple, and you learn each other, and then out of that comes something different. You become two different people, you become one entity as well. So I would just say give it some time. It just, I'm sorry ladies, sometimes it just doesn't happen in 3 months or 6 months. Sometimes it takes a couple of years to really get to know someone. So I would just say be patient and just give him space, and that seems to work best in my opinion.
We also talk about the idea of falling in love. I think that's a term that the world has adopted, and that love is a decision. It's a decision that you make, and what we teach is that before you make a decision, get the facts, as you're saying here about process. So before you commit your heart to someone, I think you should know that they're worthy of your heart. Amen? Amen.
I would agree.
Yeah. We want to thank Lori and Terry today for taking time with us. We asked them to come over randomly, just let over and spoke with them, and they agreed to have this interview with us. And we just want to thank them for their gracious time.